everyone, today I'm going to go back to digital drawing and I'm going to be doing it on my very new Wacom tablet. I got this for Christmas from my parents. I'm so very thankful. It's definitely my favorite gift I got this year, but I was super excited to use it, and I've already done a couple drawings on it, but this is the first drawing I'm doing on my YouTube channel because I decided to do a dragon instead of people, which I have been doing a lot on this drawing tablet. But anyways, I'm very excited to start drawing on this. And I just figured out how to screen record too because it took me a while to actually figure that out. But yeah, so this is the Wacom, I'm not sure how you pronounce that, Cintiq, Wacom Cintiq 16. I don't know how you pronounce it, but that's basically what it is. I'll put it on the screen just in case you need to search it up or anything. And I think it's like one of the best tablets that you can get, and I'm very grateful that my parents got it for me. And after playing with it on Christmas, I finally figured out how to use it, and I downloaded the drawing app Krita. So I'm still getting used to Krita, but it's kind of like Procreate, I guess, except that you can see all the brushes like right there. And you can also edit the format of your screen, like how I have the big picture of the drawing I'm doing on the right hand corner, top corner, and on the other side here on the left I have my color palette and the different brushes that I can pick out of and all the other settings or whatever. And then on the right hand side I have the layers and stuff, and I think that's just an easy format. And I'm definitely not used to it because I can't tap the screen with my fingers like an iPad, and I can't turn the rotate the page. I can zoom in and go to a certain place. I just can't do it like an iPad, you know? I can't zoom in really far in. I just can't rotate it to get a better angle. So I have to angle myself better, which is different to me, but I still think it works, and I'm really happy to have this. It just has better settings and stuff. And after watching a tutorial from Cypress, who is another channel here on YouTube, and she's the one that inspired me to draw dragons and stuff. And so yeah, I downloaded Krita because she had a whole tutorial on how to use it and basic stuff like that. And as you can see, I take lots of inspiration from her in my style and from other people, I would say, but mainly from her. And I think if I didn't find her on YouTube, I probably wouldn't be this good at drawing dragons. I'd probably still be struggling. But yeah, so I'm already on the sketch of this because I've been talking so much. And I'm doing a Nightwing Rainwing hybrid. And at first I was going to do just plain Rainwing, and I was like, let's just make it cooler and make it a Nightwing Rainwing hybrid. And of course I found a reference on Pinterest of a cat for the poses that I needed. And originally I was going to do a Rainwing hanging onto a tree, and that was really too hard. So I decided just to do this, and this is definitely simple and easy because I like it like that. Still getting used to drawing spiral tails, how they curl up, because I just can't get the right thickness that I need. I don't know, it's just really hard for me. Yeah, but as you can see, my scrolling is very interesting, and it took me a while to find a type of, I guess, line art brush. I had to modify one of them to make it better for line art, for the type of line art I want. Yep, and I'm already on the line art. Don't know what I'm doing here, but okay. Yes, I have some technical difficulties here and there. I forget to film every once in a while, like start recording the screen, because like I stop recording because I have to go like downstairs or something, and or like leave for a second, and when I come back, like I stop the recording, but then I go back to drawing and I forget to record it, so it's really hard for me to remember. And basically, Krita is just so different from Procreate that I'm just so used to like where you can hit the selection tool in Procreate and just, circle something, and then when you're finished moving it, you can like hit the selection button again and it just undoes it. Yeah. And with Krita, it's different, and I still don't know how to get rid of that. So I'm still trying to find my way around it, but it is getting a bit easier after like 5 days of having Krita, and several drawings later, I get to this level, and it's close to my Procreate drawing skills, and it's definitely easier to do some things on Procreate and some things on Krita. Like in Procreate, I can easily fill things in fast, but with Krita, it's definitely harder to do that type of thing. And so yeah, I'm just trying to get used to Krita, and I love how big this screen is compared to the iPad, and how much you can show already and find the pencils easier, and just stuff like that just makes it better to use, I would say. But Procreate is still definitely great, although I will say Procreate you can't use on anything else except for iPads, and there's the Procreate Pocket for phones, but you have to pay for them both, which is not fun. Krita was free. All you had to search up was like, you could basically just search up Krita and find their website and just quickly download it. It didn't take too long to download, and it really wasn't that hard to just get started. Although I would say it definitely is hard to get started. You would probably have to start like using different drawing apps. Like Procreate helped me to understand some better tools, and so I understand some of these tools, but some of these, they're just completely new to me and foreign that I don't understand some of them. So I have to watch tutorials and stuff and search things up, how to do stuff. Like I still don't know how to exit out of the canvas I'm working on and go to another one. It's like I don't understand that part, so I just have to like X out of the entire thing and then pull it back up and pick the canvas that I need, which is kind of annoying, although I could probably search it up, but I'm just too lazy right now, so I don't feel like it. And there is some things that's harder to find, and it doesn't have like the reference tool like it does on Procreate, because that's when you can use your liner as a reference, and you can just click, or you can drag a color to a certain place and it'll fill it in where the enclosed lines are. Sorry, I can't speak today. But it's just different in here in Krita. But there's a way that you can do it where you can do like that fuzzy selection tool thing, which I do in a second here. I think I'll show you, but there's like this like fuzzy select or something. It looks like a wand with a pom-pom on top, and then you take it and you hit invert selection or whatever. You click that whole thing. I would say go to Cypress's video introduction for like tutorial on how to use Krita, because she definitely explains it better. I'm not very good at explaining rules, but I will try. You click that weird fuzzy wand selection tool thing, and you basically click the line art, you click the background, so like where the line art isn't, and then you go to select and you hit invert selection. And by doing that, it'll invert it to just the area where the line art is. And then you can add a new layer for your coloring. Take the bucket tool and you just fill it in. And I had to, with the spaces, I had to like erase them and stuff, as you saw, which is a bit different. But it worked, and it was definitely faster than trying to go around the whole thing and then filling it in, which is always not fun. So it was definitely simple this time. For the color palette, I'm doing some really dark gray, which I would say would be black, but I don't want to do black because that would take away from the line art, you know? So it has dark gray and some oranges and yellows for like a kind of golden effect almost. It kind of reminds me of like lava almost, I don't know. And I just couldn't come up with a good color palette, so I decided yellow and orange, which are like bright colors, and they just kind of contrast against the dark gray, which looks really nice. And that light gray, I didn't actually end up using for anything, I don't think. No, I didn't. I just used that as a placeholder for all the colors, which is a bit random. And then I just colored everything in, and I did use the bucket tool here and there, although it leaves that weird line, which is really annoying, so I have to color over that line. It's just, I think it would be easier to fill it in, but I refuse to because I think it's faster using the bucket tool. I also struggled with trying to figure out where I want to put the colors, because I figured out the color palette and how I wanted it, but then I couldn't figure out the right way to portray all those colors and make it look nice, you know? Like, I just couldn't figure it out. Although I knew that I wanted the horns and the spines to be a light orange right here. I think because Nightwings, I believe they have the white. I'm not sure, let me check. Okay, so actually I think they have like darker spine colors, but I decided to make mine lighter because that's how I've been doing Nightwing spines. But yeah, I guess they're supposed to be like dark grays. When I do it, I just do it lighter, which is a bit weird. And these spines specifically like remind me of a classic spine of like, I don't know, like an elephant tusk almost color, like that weird yellowy color, you know? Or like, yeah, I don't know, it's just a bit interesting, although the color kind of matches with the other stuff, so I guess it looks fine. I guess I also couldn't find where the clipping mask like tool was. Like, I searched all over for it and I couldn't find it. It's probably somewhere around there, I just can't find it. But I did figure out where the alpha lock was, which is definitely useful. I just couldn't find the clipping mask, which I really kind of needed. So I decided to cut out the rest of the part where I was coloring the dark gray because it was just really long and I thought it was kind of boring. So now I'm on to the bright yellow spots, and I changed the color later. No worries, that yellow is way too sickly and it just didn't match the whole vibe I was going for, so I decided to go for a more orangish yellow. Like, it still looks like yellow, it's just less greenish and bright, you know? So it doesn't look as bad as that. So I did change it, no worries. And I only, like, I saved the, I do have the yellow for the accents, but then I use that dark orange for like barely anything, which is like the even less accent color, which is, I don't know, adds a pop of color, like that bright orange there on the little wing bone things. I'm not sure what you call them. It just makes them look cooler than just a plain dark gray. So yeah, I think it looks really cool so far. And I do change the light gray there. I change it to I believe the color I'm coloring with currently. And originally I did have that dark gray in the underwing, and I changed it to the light orange because I just didn't think the dark gray looked good with all the rest of her body like that, so I just decided that it would be a light orange instead of the the dark gray. And here I'm changing the color of the spots and everything like that, because it just looked too bad. Like, it was just terrible looking. So I did change it to be a lighter, more orangey-ish, and it does add a nice effect to it. And I believe I'm basically finished with it now. I'm now going to do the shading and the highlights, which the shading I change it to multiply and I turn down the opacity. And for the highlights, I do addition and the addition add layer thing, and I change it to like 40% opacity. Like, I kind of change it every once in a while. I'm just trying to experiment around. So like right here, I have the whole thing cut out by accident, but I started the shading layer and everything, and it's looking really good so far. So also the wings, I didn't mention, but I used that like this weird brush that I think had a picture of a sponge on it, which is interesting because normally I know that as like the spray paint looking splatter thing on Procreate, but I used that as like the underside of the wings because it just looked cool, because night wings had those like little sparkles or whatever, and I kind of made it look almost like spray paint, which kind of looks cool. And I imagined that she could like change the color of them. She just couldn't like make them disappear, I would think, because like she's part Nightwing, so like she could change the color, I would think, you know, like it's something like that, like cool, you know. And yeah, the shading on spines when they twist always kind of confuses me, because I'm like, when they twist, I'm like, where do I shade, you know? So like you got to keep in mind where like the fake lighting is, like where the lighting would be. Oh, and speaking of lighting, I am now doing the highlights, and I'm keeping in mind of that like lighting source, the light source, where the light source I wanted it to be, which is like kind of in the top right corner, I imagine. So I didn't highlight the spines on like the tail, if you notice, unless they're like closer to the, I'm not making sense, but you'll see, okay? And here I'm also adding all the little extra highlights that I add, and yeah, they look really cute. And I would say I'm finished, and here is the finished product. I added a background, and that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.